Hey everybody, what's up everybody? Welcome. We're getting ready to get started in just a couple minutes. We're going to wait and let a few people in the room here. I'm going to let people in the room. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? Let me know in the chat if everybody's feeling good today. We're going to wait and let a few people in the room here. I see Terry's back, Daniel, Duncan, and God. How's it going? All right. I'm so excited. Today's conversation is going to be really fun, really cool. And so I hope you guys are really ready to tap in today and take some notes because we are going to go super, super hard into helping you guys get this movement off the ground that you have in your heart. So, with that being said, I think we are 2 minutes, 2 minutes over time. Can you guys see? Put a one in the chat if you could see my face. If you can hear me okay, I want to make sure that we're all clear across the board. Facebook, same for you as well. You know, if you can hear me, if you can see me, let me know. And would love to know kind of what's up with everybody, making sure we're all clear here. All right, sweet, love it. So let's go ahead and make sure this is recording. Recording in progress. All right. All right, guys. Well, welcome back to the One to Many workshop. I'm so excited for this week. I know we've went really deep yesterday into into some really high level topics, really around leadership. But you know, I just want to welcome you if you're just watching this and you're brand new to this conversation we're having. Just know that we are discussing today we are discussing and jumping into day 2 of the One to Many workshop. And you're jumping in right into the middle of an amazing conversation. And if you're here watching day 2, I want to let you know that you're not too late. You can go back and watch day 1. You can go to the website. If you're watching on Facebook, I put the link in the chat. YouTube, if you're watching there, I put the link in the description as well. But you can go to the one. Actually, it's www.one-too-many-model.com/free ticket. All right. Say, Michael, why is that so complicated? Well, this is going to be a paid event but for this event only, we're making it free to the public. And so you guys can go to one-to-many-model.com/free ticket. And that'll get you in the room with us. You can jump into Zoom, or you can go ahead and watch the replays of yesterday by joining our Facebook community. And so today I want to go ahead and just jump right on in and really help you guys get closer to that goal of yours, which is scaling your mass movement. Some of you all here, like we talked about yesterday, you have this calling on your heart. You feel like you have this mission on your heart and you want to get it out into the world. And so that's what we're doing this week. We're showing you how to use our frameworks, and we call it the one-to-many model, to really ramp that up, speed it up, and get it out to more people. And so I'm going to go ahead, share my screen, put a one in the chat if you could see my screen. I want to make sure we're all clear here. All right. Sweet. I think that messed up Zoom. There we go. All right. So what we're going to be talking today, I want to recap over day 1 of the One to Many workshop first, because there's a lot of people here who are newer. You know, you're just jumping in for the first time. So I want to give a quick rundown about what we talked about yesterday, because that's the foundation for what we're going to experience today. All right. So I want to make sure you guys are clear on this so that we can just jump right on in and you don't skip a beat. So yesterday we talked about really the foundation of starting a mass movement, and how if you look back in the history of time, that there were certain key things that these mass movements had, right? Whether it was a good mass movement like Martin Luther, right? We talked about that. Or whether it was a bad mass movement like Adolf Hitler, right? They had certain characteristics and certain qualities of their movement that really allowed them to reach the masses fast. And so yesterday we dove into this conversation over charismatic leadership. We talked about charismatic leadership, and we talked about compelling opportunities. We talked about how every mass movement and every person that I've worked with personally, they had a leader who is charismatic. And a lot of people, when they hear of charismatic, they think of, oh, I have to be bubbly. I have to be, I have to be a red personality if you know the disc. That's not true. Charismatic meaning somebody that has a powerful gift we talked about, and someone who's using that to lead and serve other people. And so you must be able to lead other people with your gifts. And we talked about three things. If you remember, we talked about how every charismatic leader, they have a vision, right? But they share that vision with passion and they share it with confidence. And so I really recommend you go back to day one, because that conversation was super deep, super fun, because everything rises and falls on leadership, right? You'll hear John Maxwell talk about that again. And so that's why this foundation is so important. Then we went on to talk about compelling opportunities. And we talked about every single one of these people that led a movement and that has something that's reached millions of people and thousands of people. They all had a new compelling opportunity, right? A new compelling opportunity. And this opportunity is something that people could latch on to, take hold of as their own. And that's how they grew so fast, because it was something new. It was something urgent and compelling. And so for some of you all, we talked about yesterday, you have opportunities, but they're not that compelling. For some of you guys, you don't even have an opportunity yet. So that's step one. But we went into that whole conversation on how to craft these two things and really hone them in so that you can build the foundation of your mass movement. Now, I would be a fool to tell you that's all you need to grow a mass movement, because I know you and I both know there's more to it than that. But for the sake of having just 3 days together, simply 3 to 5 hours together this week, I wanted to let you know those are the two foundations that I think are some of the most important that you need to hone in. And so, one, focus on leadership, right? It doesn't matter if you have a team, if you don't have a team. Everybody has influence, and you need to get good at managing and honing in that influence and becoming a better leader for your tribe. And then number two, you need to work on creating compelling opportunities for the people that you want to reach. So today, what we're going to be diving into, yesterday we talked about crafting a movement. Today, we're going to really talk about creating that compelling opportunity. And really, I crafted this and talked about this as building your crazy no-brainer offer, right? Building a crazy no-brainer offer, because I wanted to talk about, a lot of you all, this is a business, right? For some of you guys, this, like, as you heard, I created a nonprofit. I'm actually wearing the shirt from our nonprofit back when I was in high school. But it started for me as a nonprofit, like I talked about yesterday. But for some of you all, this is a business, and you're trying to scale your business, your coaching company, your info product business, your video course business. You're trying to scale that. And so I want to talk about today how you can build a crazy no-brainer opportunity for people, aka an offer, so that when they look at you and they look at your mission and your message, you're like, I have to tap into that. So we're going to go really deep on this today, but before we do, I want to hear from you all. I want to hear from you all who already has an offer, or aka an opportunity in their business. Drop me in the chat, drop yes. Just put something in the chat to let us know if you currently have an offer or opportunity in your business, because I would love to hear where you guys are at in this process. And if you don't, just say no. Like, let's be really transparent here and just say no, I don't. Because this is going to help me craft the conversation and see where we need to take it. All right, and I'll give you guys a couple minutes to throw that in the chat. And don't go to sleep on me. I need some engagement from you guys today. I need some engagement. All right. So I can make sure I'm providing value. For you guys. All right. So regardless of whether you have this or not, okay, somebody says, no, I do not yet. All right. So it's okay if you don't. Regardless if you do or not, the goal of today is to help you craft that. And even if you do have that already, the goal is to help you hone that in to where we can go even deeper and make it even more irresistible and compelling for your audience. So let's just jump in. I'm pulling up some notes here for you guys. All right, sweet. We're good to go. All right, so let's just jump right on in. And I want you guys, if you haven't already, I'm actually going to drop something. It's in the Facebook group, but I'm actually going to drop it inside of the Zoom room as well. There's a PDF. Some of you guys said you hadn't received it. but I just dropped it inside of the Zoom chat. Download this. If you want to take notes while we go into this, this is a great resource you can use to do so. If you guys seen it in the Facebook group, it's under the Files tab in the Facebook group, or you can download it right here inside of Zoom. So just save this PDF if you guys want to take your learning a little bit deeper and take your notes in a more organized fashion. But so let's just jump right on in. So today we're going to be going over, as you guys are aware, all about building your crazy no-brainer offer or your opportunity. And there's really 3 steps. Now we can break it down to micro steps. You can add more to this, but I'm going to go over today 3 steps to building this crazy no-brainer opportunity for your business and your movement. Okay. So take notes. There's 3 things. We're going to go pretty deep in this, and I want this to be really interactive for you. And just know that at any time, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat and I'll try to pause and answer these questions. But in order for you to create a no-brainer, crazy opportunity, you first need to know where your people are at, right? And you need step 1 is mapping out your client journey. Now, so many people, what happens is in their coaching business, in their whatever you want to call it, consulting business, their agency, what happens is they build out a product without ever knowing where their people are and where their people need to go. And then what happens are they end up selling a few of their products, and people don't take action. People don't find results. People don't end up experiencing life change. And then they're wondering what happened. I made some money, but nobody's experiencing change. Or have you guys ever experienced this? Has anybody ever built a course in here before? And you build a course, and then all of a sudden what happens is nobody finishes your course, and they only watch like 50% of it, or not, maybe not even 50%, 10 or 20% of it. Listen, I've had that happen before. I'm going to be honest with you. I've had that. And that's maybe because you never thought about your client journey. And maybe you never thought about where your customers are at, where they're at, where they want to go. And so this is one of the most important pieces to the puzzle, because yesterday we talked about, a charismatic leader. We talked about a new opportunity. But if you don't have a plan for your tribe, are you even doing anything, right? If you don't have a plan for your tribe, ultimately you're not going to have long-term success. So you look at like some of the biggest mass movements of all time. The leader had a plan. The leader had a mission, right? A leader had steps that he wanted him or herself and the tribe to take. And so that's what you needed. So Petra says, I thought of that, right? Exactly. I'm going to move this up here so you guys can see the comments. Petra said, I thought of that. And so you need to really map out your journey, because this is like one of the steps that people skip over the most. People go into this and they're like, okay, cool. I know I need to create an offer, so I'm going to do that. I'm just going to create a video course on what I know. I'm going to create a coaching program and just do weekly calls, but they never think about the success of the people in their tribe, which is all what it's for, right? The people, and this is actually what happens. The people, if they come into your program, they come into your course, your coaching experience, and they come in and they go through it but never experience any life change. One, you're not going to have any testimonials to share in the future, right? You're not going to have any case studies you can share in the future. 2, you're not going to have any referrals coming into your business. And for a coaching business, referrals are like the best thing ever. But 3, then you're going to have coaching programs that are stagnant, and we don't want that. You're going to have a movement that's stagnant. So you need to map this out. So that's what we're going to go into. Step 1 today is mapping out your client journey. And I tried to make this as simple as possible because I want you guys to know that this can be done simple. We don't have to make it hard. So if you have the workbook, you can look at it. We have these steps here, but I want to really illustrate this by a picture I created for you guys. So I like to use this illustration. Whenever I'm mapping out a client journey, whenever I'm mapping out my client overview, some people call it, or client path, whatever you want to call it. Whenever you're mapping this out, I really like to ask myself, number 1, where are my potential clients, my potential customers, my followers, where are they at right now? What are they experiencing? See, a lot of times, like I mentioned yesterday, we think and we see through our perspective, which means sometimes we forget where the people that we're trying to reach actually are, because it's been years since we were there, maybe decades in some cases. So it's your job. And so for Daniel, who's here, I know Daniel helps people buy and sell businesses, right? So Daniel, you need to ask yourself, hey, where are the business owners I want to reach? Where are they at right now? What are they experiencing? How do they feel? Take notes of this. What are they experiencing? How do they feel? What are their struggles? What are their pains? What do they love? I'm going through this really fast, but what do they love? You need to ask all these questions and really figure out where they're at right now. Now, there's some of you all, you may say, well, Michael, how do I figure that out? How do I answer all those questions? The simplest thing you can do is simply ask. One of the easiest things you can do is simply ask them. Go to the communities where your people are congregating, whether it's Facebook groups, a Facebook page, a Twitter chat. I don't know where it is, your email list. Send out a survey in a form like we talked about a little bit yesterday, asking, what are you guys experiencing? What are the biggest hurdles you're having right now? What are the obstacles you're facing? What are the wins you're having? What do you need help with? You really need to get a good idea where they're at right now, because you can't craft a product and an opportunity if you don't know this. Because what happens is you're going to craft, if you skip this part like we talked about, you're going to craft an opportunity and an offer of stuff they don't even need. They're going to get in and say, oh, I don't need this. I've already worked on this in my business. Oh, I've already worked on this in my life. Oh, this isn't relevant to me. Oh, I'm just going to skip this module because it doesn't apply to my situation. That's what's going to happen. So it's really important that you guys look and ask where they are at right now. Does this make sense? Let me know in the chat. Is this pretty clear for you guys? Are you understanding what I'm saying here? Because I want to make sure that we're pretty okay. Petra, I love Petra. Like, she's tapped in with me all week. She's like, this is good. I love her engagement. She's not in the Zoom today, but I'm gonna let it slide today. She's in Facebook. So, all right, cool. All right. We're gonna get rocking with it. Yeah, somebody says, I'm glad I'm getting this information now before I get started. This is the foundation. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's jump right back into it. Here we go. I'm stuttering. I'm so excited here. Here we go. So now, once you figure that out, you need to ask yourself where they want to be. Where do my potential customers, clients, whatever you want to call them, the people I'm trying to reach, where do they want to go? We call this their dream destination. Where are my clients' dream destination? For example, I'm just making this up. I'm picking on Daniel because he's like a good friend of mine. He's from Kentucky, and so Daniel he buys and sells businesses, right? And he helps people buy and sell their businesses. So he needs to ask, where's the dream destination for these business owners? For some, it may be a place where I'm just making this up. Their business is fully automated, and they don't have to even work in their business, right? They can exit their business because their business was profitable. That would be like the dream destination. For some of your clients, for some of you all that are health coaches, your dream destination may be your client has, they maybe have no more side effects of diabetes. They may be not dealing with arthritis anymore. I don't know what that is. Maybe they lose 100 pounds and they can actually walk without huffing and puffing, or maybe they can go ride bikes with their kids. I don't know what that is. But for you, you need to ask, where is my client's dream destination? And somebody says, Michael, how do we figure this out? The same exact way. The same exact way. You need to figure out ways to ask them, hey, what's your goals? Like, if I could help you get one place, where would it be? Like, what's the goal of for your health? What's the goal for your business? What's the goal for your real estate investment company? I don't know what industry you guys are in, but you need to ask them. So you can't build a program, you can't build an opportunity or an offer if you don't know where they want to go. Because again, then you're just going to end up leading them to the wrong destination if you don't know this. It'd be like this. And I'm actually going to use this illustration just a second. But it'd be like going on a road trip across the country with, let's just imagine Vanessa was here, or Coach Teresa. Let's just say me and Coach Teresa, we went on a journey across the US together. We went on a road trip, right? We left Kentucky, we went on a road trip, but I didn't know where Teresa wanted to go. I only know where I wanted to go. I may take Teresa all the way to New York, but she was like, Michael, we get there, she'll be like, I actually wanted to go to Florida, which is the total opposite direction. So what happens is when you don't figure these things out, you end up leading with confusion. We do not want you to lead with confusion. You need to lead with clarity. You need to lead with clarity. So step 2, out of this process of mapping out your customer journey, is asking, where's their dream destination? Where do they want to be? Where do they want to be? Now, this is where it gets really fun. This is really where it gets really fun. What happens is a lot of people stop there, but you can't stop there, because what happens is this is where it gets really deep, and you get to start building out an opportunity and an offer and a program to where how you can get people from point A to point Z. Now, I'm going to be honest, in some cases you may not be able to get people entirely to their dream destination. For some of you all, you may only be able to get them from point A to point O or point Y, right? And they may have to take other steps or get a different coach to get to point Z. But your job is to figure out the road to their dreams. Your job is to figure out, how can I craft an opportunity and a program that's going to get them as close to point Z as possible. I want to craft something that is going to get them from where they are now closer to where they want to be, and I am responsible for that. And so what I like to do is I like to ask myself, whenever I'm building these out, what are the steps they need to take to get closer to their dream destination? What are the steps they need to take to get from where they are now to get closer to point Z? I don't know what that is for you, but only you do. And most of the time, it was a journey that you took yourself. If for those coaches and course creators out there, for most of you guys, it may be that you look back on your past journey and ask, what are the steps I took to get to my dream destination? Is this making sense to you guys? Let me know. Is this making sense to everybody? I'm going to pause for a few seconds for a breather, but let's see if you guys are catching up with me and making sure you're here with me. And yeah, I like Coach Teresa. I'm just now seeing your comment. Don't do me like that. Don't take me to New York. Love it. So this is where it gets really fun, because this is where you start to craft the pieces of your offer and your opportunity. We're going to get into those pieces in just a second. But this is where we can really map out how they're going to get there. And so what I like to do is I like to go in and I like to look from the top down, right? If I was going to imagine you were in an airplane. Some of you guys may love flying. Some of you all may hate flying. I love flying. But if you ever look out the airplane window, if you're sitting in a window seat and you look down, when you're first taking off, before you go above the clouds, right, you normally can see all the buildings, all the cars, all the roads. And it's really cool to see, because you're like, man, these people are just like ants down there. But that's the perspective I take on whenever I'm mapping out a customer journey. I say, okay, what roads do I need to build? What processes do I need to build in order to get people to where they want to go? And so for you all, you need to figure out the exact steps to get them there. And then you can build your program or your product, your opportunity around it. So here's an example. Let's imagine I'm in real estate, because I have a real estate investment company in real life. So I'm going to use this as an example. But let's imagine that you have a real estate company and you want to coach people how to flip their first house. Now I know where my customers were whenever I was coaching real estate. I know they were probably working a 9 to 5 job, and they were trying to find a way to make additional income so they can provide for their families. That's where they were. They were frustrated of living, having to, uh, depend on their employers for raises. They were tired of, not ever having extra money to go on vacation with their family. And so I knew where they were right now. They were just they were stuck in a place, and they wanted to find a new way to generate income in their home. But I knew their dream destination, was ultimately to to be free of that job. I knew that their dream destination was that they didn't have to depend on their employer for pay. They didn't want to have to depend on their employer for vacation hours. They wanted to own their own life. That was their dream destination. Now the road to get there, and the vehicle, which I'm actually let's pull this up right now. And the vehicle, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, which is your offer, for me was real estate, flipping houses, right? That was my offer, and it was like, hey, real estate's going to be the vehicle to get there, which we're going to go into in just a moment. But I had to look down. I had to look from the top down and say, okay, what are the steps I need to give them? They need to take to get to that dream destination where they're not relying on their job, or they're not relying on a stimulus check to take them on vacation, right? And I said, okay, step one, you know what they need to do? They need to learn how to think like an investor, right? They need to go from thinking like an employee to start learning how to think like a business owner, an investor. That was step one for me, because I knew these people needed a new mindset shift. And I said, you know what? After they can start thinking the right way and envisioning how to think like an investor, you know what I need to do is I need to teach them the basics of real estate. I need to teach them the basics of real estate, and so they can start getting their feet wet. And I said, from there, you know what they need to do? Once they start learning about the ins and outs of how real estate works, I'm going to teach them how to go find off-market properties. That's like step 3. They're going to go find houses and go find profitable deals. Step 4, I said, if they can learn how to find houses, but then not only that, but on step 4, if they can find out how to analyze deals, that's going to get them closer to their goal. And so you can see how this is compounding. I said, okay, after they analyze their deals, if they find one that is profitable, I'm going to teach them how to make an offer. And you guys can see how it compounded. So that was the road to their dreams, and the vehicle, of course, was real estate. But the road, I built that out and laid that out for my students. And so for some of you all, you need to build that out for your movement, for your students, whoever your tribe. You need to build out the exact process to get them from point A to point Z. And it's up to you to do that. You need to take, this may take 30 minutes, an hour. It could take you a week. You may struggle with this, but the goal is for you to figure out exactly what they need. So I don't know what industry. Let me know in the chat, what industries are you all in right now? Let me know in the chat. I want to give some real life examples for this. Let me know what industries you all are in, so I can maybe tailor this to you, to your business, to your life. And I'll give you guys just a second to put that in the chat, because I see we have people from different areas of the country, different people from different industries. So I want to respect that and make sure we give shout outs to people. So business and real estate, love it. All right. Anybody else want to throw in their industry? Music industry, health industry, publishing industry. Ooh, love that. All right, cool. Who else we got? Anybody else? So, okay, let's do music industry. Now, I don't know. So this is Petra. She's been really involved here, but she says she's in the music industry, health industry, and publishing industry. That's a lot, but let's start with one. So let's say you were teaching people how to publish, right? So let's say you're in the publishing industry and you were teaching people how to publish a book. My target audience is probably going to be authors, right? People that are aspiring authors. So I need to ask myself, where are they at right now? They're probably, if I know most authors, and I've been here as well, they probably started a book and never finished it. They're probably frustrated because they don't have enough time to write their book. They're probably frustrated because they started writing their book and they got writer's block. But the dream destination is they have a book that's making them money, booking them on stages, reaching the masses, and creating a life of freedom for them. So it's your responsibility, Petra, if this was the real case here, it's your job to figure out how can I help these aspiring authors get their book done and become a published author. And so you would say, okay, what are the steps to help them get there? And then that becomes your client journey. And it's your responsibility to help whoever joins your irresistible offer, your irresistible opportunity, whoever locks arm with you, it's your responsibility to take them through this exact process and do whatever you can to help them follow the steps so they can get closer to their dream destination. See, the problem, and this is another problem, I'm not going to go deep in this one because I didn't plan on talking about this, but the issue, that a lot of coaches, course creators have is they build these programs, these opportunities, and they have the whole journey mapped out, but they never help the client go through the journey. So maybe you need to build a plan as well. This is a little pro tip. Build a plan for you, a plan on how to help people go through that client journey. Not just letting them ride alone, right? So, for example, go back to Coach Teresa, who was in New York with me, right, on this road trip. So imagine that before we ever left on the trip, I knew that Teresa didn't want to go to New York. She wanted to go to Florida. But you know what I did? I said, okay, Teresa, I know you want to go to Florida. I'm going to sit in the back seat and watch some movies on Netflix while you drive. But you know what? I'm not going to give you the GPS. I'm going to just go figure it out on your own. The chances that Teresa, no offense, Teresa, I hope you are very good at, I hope, Teresa, you're very good at navigation. But the fact is that if I didn't give Teresa the support she needed to get from Kentucky to Florida, the chances of her actually getting to Florida, if she does not know the way already, very slim to none. She could go south, but who knows? She may end up in Alabama. She may, and she said not the greatest, we'd be in a mess, right? She would maybe end up in South Carolina or somewhere else, Georgia, and never reach her dream destination. So it's important as well at the same time, which I didn't include in here, that you guys have a plan on how you're going to walk people and drive with them through this roadmap, right? So that's number one. So is everybody pretty clear? We good on this? We good on this? I'm excited. I think you guys... I think this is going to help a lot of people. If you really take action on this, if you really put this into play, this can be something that changes your life forever, right? And so, all right, let's go on to step number 2. So once you have your client journey mapped out, right? And you remember the main goal today is to build that crazy no-brainer opportunity for people to say yes to. Once you build out and you know your client journey, what you're going to do is step 2, you are going to go into mapping out your delivery vehicle. All right. Mapping out your delivery vehicle. And for some of you all, you say, Michael, why are you using vehicles and all this, cars and stuff as examples? It's just easy, guys. Just go with me. Just go with me. It's easy to use this as an example. So one thing you want to do is map out your vehicle and how you're going to help people get from point A to Z. Not the steps, because we already talked about the steps and the road, but the actual vehicle you're going to use. If we go back here, I'm going to go back here. If you guys see the point A is where they're at right now, right? Point Z is where they want to be. This road here, this road is the steps they need to take to get closer to their dream destination. But you need to have a vehicle that they can ride in. You need to have a vehicle, which is AKA your opportunity, your offer, that they can jump into to get them there faster. Right? They can go through this themselves. They can try walking, but wouldn't it be more efficient if they jumped in with you and jumped into your vehicle to get there because you know the way and you're going to go the way and show the way? So today, you need to ask yourself, what vehicle will I use? What vehicle will you use to get them closer to point Z? Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. And so today, the perspective we're going to go into is a perspective that for some of you guys, that are wanting to use your knowledge and your skill set to help people. This is going to be a lot of tailored to those that want to become coaches and course creators and those that are, industry experts. So just think through that lens. There's really three ways you can deliver this transformation as a coach, as somebody who wants to use your information to impact the world. And there's three different vehicles, and I want to share these with you right here. And the first is DIY. All right, so you can write these down. The second is DWY, and the third is DFY. Some of you guys may have heard of these before. Some of you all may have seen this. So if you have, just bear with me. We're going to go deeper into this. But these are the three vehicles, main vehicles that you can use to help people get closer to their dream destination. And so you may, Michael, what in the world is this acronyms? What are these acronyms? So I'm going to break these down. DIY is do it yourself. Okay. DIY meaning that they can go and do it themselves, but you give them the resources and the roadmap to get there. So if we go back to this illustration, right, it would be, imagine you're on a road trip. DIY would kind of be like they're getting in the car themselves and, they're pretty much responsible. You give them the roadmap, they're going to go by yourself, right? They're going to go on this drive. Coach Teresa is going to go from Kentucky to Florida by herself. I'm going to give her all the tools. I'm going to give her the GPS. I'm going to give her, the map. If anybody uses Rand McNally's anymore, anybody remember those? My grandpa is still in love with his Rand McNally. I think that's what it's called, right? Anybody remember? Am I tripping? I think my grandpa, he always brought those on the trips with us, and he wouldn't use anything other than his big old Rand McNally. And, so some of you guys, it would be like the DIY is giving you guys all the tools, but letting you go on at it your own. So that's one way you can go about getting them results, just letting them try and do it on their own, right? You create the vehicle, they get in and go by themselves. That's DIY, do it yourself. Now, if we were to go back and here, we can go on to this next one, which is done with you. Now, DWI, which is the second one, this is right here, this one in the middle, this is done with you, right? So done with you is now I'm going to get in the car with you. I'm going to give you the GPS, but I'm not driving. Coach Teresa, you're going to drive to Florida yourself. I'll be there to help guide you. If you have trouble when you come up to two exits and you don't know which exit to take, I'll guide you which exit to take, which road to go down, but I'm not actually driving the car. So done with you is more of like I'm sitting in the passenger seat helping you, instructing you. Now, lastly, you have done for you. Now, done for you, this is where you're actually going to get in the driver's seat and drive the vehicle for them. This one's a little bit more complex, right? This one, for the user on the other end, for your client, your customer, this is way easier for them, because this would mean Teresa doesn't have to do anything but just sit back, put her feet on the dash, and I drive the vehicle to the dream destination. But then on you, this often can be a little bit more demanding. This can be a little bit more time consuming. This is actually one of our agents. This can actually be like a service. This can actually, which we'll break down in just a second, but this can be like a service that you offer for people. But the done for you, a lot of times, if we look at this, if we were to compare these, done for you is oftentimes the more expensive option, the most expensive route, because there's more effort for you, less effort for the client. I wish I should have put this over here, but we should have put like man hours. Let's do this. I'll just create this on the fly for you guys. Feel free to take screenshots of this too. But if we were to, I'm going to use W for work. So if you guys look at this DIY, it's cheaper a lot of times for your clients because there's less work. Done with you, normally that's going to be like your middle tier product because there's a little bit of work with it, right? For me, giving the keys to Coach Teresa and just giving her the GPS and sending her on her way, that's the do it yourself. That's not that much time. That's not much time on my part and effort. So I'm not going to charge that much just to give her. She can rent out the GPS. I'm just using these illustrations. She can rent out the GPS. I'm going to give her the stuff. It's not that much. Done with you, me actually getting in the car and sitting in the passenger seat, That's going to take a little bit of my time. So I'm going to charge a little bit more for that. It's a little bit more effort and work on my part. And then the done for you, which is a little bit higher on the totem pole, right, is oftentimes going to be the most expensive because I'm actually driving. You're stealing my expertise. You're stealing my or taking my skills, my talents, and you're putting in place, and I'm putting in all the work for you. So those are really the three avenues we coach our clients through using. The question is, which one are you guys going to implement? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Which one do you guys feel like you can implement in your business? See, we can go into this, and I tell people this all the time. You can try to grow into offering all three, the do it yourself, the done with you, but at least start with one. Start with one. You see so many people, they go out there and they're like, oh, Michael, cool. You know what? I'm going to build an opportunity, an offer that's do it yourself, done with you, and a done for you. And then what happens is they don't master the client journey through each of those, and they don't get results for any of their clients. So at least just start with one. If you have three, if you have two, that's fine. But start with one and perfect that opportunity. Perfect that opportunity. Is this making sense to everybody? Drop a one if you're getting this. Drop a one if this is resonating with you. Want to make sure no person's left behind. No person's left behind. All right, Coach Teresa says yes. Daniel says yes. What about you, Terry? What about you, Rashid? Duncan? Anybody else? Would love to hear. Anybody in the Facebook? Petra, love it. She says one. Got it. We should start with one of these. Last thing I want to do is overwhelm yourself. So let's go into a bit deeper for you guys, because there's some of you all like, Michael, I still need a little bit more explanation. I still need examples of this. So if we were going to dive into examples, you guys would see that DIY, this would kind of be for those of you guys that are like have a info product business. This is where you're like, we would be courses, right? These are resources. I'm going to put courses and resources. And you can implement these even if you're not a coach or a course creator. There's different ways you can do this. But DIY is where you would like record a course of yourself and sell that to people. Craft an irresistible opportunity around that. Where people, they could come in, for example, for those that are in, those that are in the health industry, right? Or whether you're in the publishing industry, maybe create a course in a program or a curriculum around how to publish your first book. Maybe if you're in the music industry, how to become a published artist, how to upload your music to, what's the name of that music platform? I can't even think of it. I used it before. How to upload your music into certain platforms. And this is oftentimes going to be lower end product. This is normally, just so you guys know, for coaches and course creators, normally this is going to be one of those products where it's like anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000, maybe $500 to $3,000. There's some of you guys are like, Michael, yes, you charge $3,000 for a course. Yes, if it is a good enough curriculum, we're going to get into pricing in just a little bit. But if this curriculum can actually help them experience results, if this program and curriculum has proven systems and processes to get them to their dream destination, I don't know about you guys, but Coach Angela, would you pay $3,000 if my program, my curriculum, my coaching, or I shouldn't say coaching, but this DIY product, if you went through it, you could learn how to rid your arthritis forever? Like, would you pay $3,000 for that? Would you pay $3,000 if I said, hey, I'm going to show you, and if you implement this, you're flip one house that makes $30,000? Yes, it's a no-brainer. Like, I would pay $3,000 for that. I would pay $1,000, $1,500. And the reason why so many people, and this is a conversation I was going to get into later, but the reason why so many of you are charging $100 for a product, $300 for a product, $500 for a product, one is probably because you don't have enough confidence in yourself. You need to know the information that God put in your head, your heart, is valuable. The information that you have, if it's true information, you are true, if you are perfected in your craft, this information is valuable. You need to open your eyes and see that. But number two, you guys don't realize by charging less, you guys are oftentimes attracting cheaper clients. Not saying this is always the case, but have you guys ever sold something to someone and you're like getting a million questions from this person? Have you guys ever sold a product before and you're like, yeah, DistroKid. Thank you, Petra. Yeah, we use that all the time. So, have you guys ever sold a product before and then you just got like, you sold a product for like $20, $50, and then you get like all these people asking questions, they're really demanding? It's probably because you're not filtering out the high value clients. And so that's what charging more does, is oftentimes not only are you going to make more, but you're going to actually get better clients. And so anyways, I just want to say, like, the information you have in your heart, your head, in your hands is like golden and valuable if you truly know your craft. So let's get it back into this. This is, DIY equals courses and the resources that you can sell. Like I said, this is normally, a little bit cheaper products, but you can still charge a premium if you know your worth. The DWY, this is the done with you. This is oftentimes coaching, right? This is often coaching where you can give them maybe courses. I'll just put courses plus coaching, right? So this is maybe where you give them, those courses or resources, but help coach them through the process, help coach them through the journey. Like I mentioned with Coach Teresa, right? Sitting the passenger seat to help her get to Florida. I'm not driving and doing it for her, but I'm helping her get there. And people, they will pay a little bit more for your help. They will pay a little bit more to get your coaching, to get your expertise. And so one of my favorite ways to leverage this for all the coaches and the course creators out there is to create a group coaching program. I like to bundle up curriculum and courses with a group coaching program, because what happens is they can go through the curriculum, they can go through the course, which if you build it right is really methodical, and then they can come to your coaching sessions and get their questions answered and go deeper into the content in your curriculum and your course. Here's the deal. For those of you guys that are doing this, I want you to ditch it as fast as possible. Try to ditch the one-on-one coaching if you can. Now, I know some of you all here, you are not able to do this. Why? There's some of you all here because you guys are in maybe so niche of industries that your industry requires you to have one-on-one conversations. Maybe it is, I'm just making this up, maybe it is a certain kind of health where you can't do group coaching, where you really have to dive in and get personal with your clients. I get it. But for a lot of you all, you're selling one-on-one coaching sessions for $50 or $100 when in reality, you can only coach so long by yourself. You can only take so many one-on-one coaching sessions. And with what I'm going to show you guys tomorrow, our virtual event framework, if you try doing one-on-one with this framework and you do it right, you're going to have 50, 100, 200 people take advantage of your opportunity. And what's going to happen is 50, 100 people take advantage of opportunity. And if that opportunity is one-on-one, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Can you guys handle 50 to 100 one-on-one clients? I doubt it. So I would definitely recommend, if you can at all, for those that are coaches in here and you want to become a coach, definitely ditch one-on-one coaching and try to go to the group coaching model, where you guys do group calls on Zoom or group calls on Facebook, wherever that is. So that was the DWY, the course. This is the done with you product. Now, lastly, we have the done for you, right? The done for you. This oftentimes is like a services model, right? Where you provide a service to somebody, or like an agency model where you're actually coming in and you're doing the work for them. And like we talked about earlier, a lot of times people will pay a premium for this, right? This is oftentimes higher on the spectrum of your cost, of what you charge people, the investment needed. And so for us, I'll give you a real life example. For us, we have an agency where we run virtual events for people. We run virtual events. We build all the funnels. We build all the emails, all the text, all the graphics. We coach them through it, and that's a done for you offer. Like, does that sound really irresistible to anybody? Like, you're like, man, like you come in, you build out our whole event, you build out all the emails, all the graphics, all the text. Does that like make anybody like like would that make you excited? That's our product. That's what we do. And so that is a done for you service that we offer. And because we offer that, there's a premium to it. Because you know how many people I have on my team working on that? We have myself. We have Vanessa, who's here. We have Elke, who's on our team. Caleb, who's on our team. James. So there's like, I think if we were to look at it, there's like, after next week, there'll be like 8 of us total working on this. Do you think it's gonna be cheap to have 8 of us working? No, there's gonna be a premium, right? There's gonna be a premium to it because our team knows what we're doing and we're gonna come in and do it for you. I'm gonna drive the vehicle. I'm gonna drive Teresa down to Florida myself, like our example we gave earlier. So, done for you is a lot of times the top vehicle, or the top I'm going to say vehicle. Yeah, you can say vehicle opportunity or offer that you'll have, right? So ultimately you guys have to figure out for yourself which one of these works for you. Do you want to go the do it yourself route where you build something once and then you can charge people forever for it? Is it you want to do more of the coaching, the done with you route? Is it do you want to do the more done for you route? I don't know what this is because everybody's industry is different. Your life, your business is totally different than the next person in this room, but you need to ask yourself, what model am I going for? And then what happens is once you pick one, you can add on to it. You can build off of that, but you need to pick one. You need to start with one like we talked about. So let me know in the chat, which one do you guys resonate with the most? Out of these, I want to see everybody's comments. Which one of these do you guys resonate with the most? And I'll give some shout outs to people. Let's take some action here. Do you guys resonate with the do it yourself, like just having other people do it themselves? Do you resonate with the done with you? Some of you guys feel like you can have a done for you offer? So this would be really cool. I'm going to give it, so done with you, Daniel says. Done for you, Coach Angela says. Okay, I like that. It's really cool. Done with you, Petra. Yeah, I was thinking of Petra because she was saying that she has like the music industry would be really cool. And I'll give you guys examples of done with you. So this would be an example for Petra. If we go back to the publishing industry, the do it yourself would be kind of like, hey, I'm going to give you the curriculum and the resources to go publish your book yourself. If you were a book publisher, do it with you would be like, hey, you're getting the curriculum, the resources, but I'm going to coach you through the process and we're going to meet once a week or once a month to go through this together and make sure you're on track. Done for you would be like, you know what, Petra, I'm not even going to I'm just going to do this for you. I'm going to help publish your book. All you have to do is give me the script. I'm going to get the book designed. I'm going to put it on Amazon. I'm going to get into Barnes and Nobles. I'm going to do all these things. You just have to give me the script. I'm even going to help you. I'm going to hire a ghostwriter for you. And so the done for you could be really powerful. Same thing with the music industry. Hey, guess what? We're going to help you record the music. You come down to our studio. We're going to have our producer help you with the audio and the music. You know what we're going to do? Then we're going to become your label. Like, this could be really powerful, right? Who else we got here? I'm going to see if anybody else shouted out. I'd be more interested in the group coaching than having a group call. So maybe done with you. All right, cool. So yeah, regardless, a lot of us, we could do, there's many different options here. You just got to figure out and go through this whole journey. Remember, start here. And if you guys figure this out, if you guys remember, I'm going to go share my screen one more time. If you guys remember, figure out this journey, right? You figure out this journey, just go back and look at it and say, okay, which vehicle makes sense for me to start out with? Knowing what I know now, knowing where my clients are, knowing where they want to be, and knowing the steps they need to take to get there. What vehicle can I use to help get them there the fastest? That's where I would start. I would ask, out of these options that Michael presented, which one is going to help them get results faster and start, or the fastest, and start there. Start there. So, let's keep going. Let's keep rocking with it. We're coming to a close here. We're coming to the runway. So now you may be like, Michael, this is really cool, but how do I price this? How do I price this? Because you're telling me, Michael, that I can create a crazy, no brainer opportunity that people are going to pay me $3,000 for, $5,000, $10,000 for? Yes, it's possible. This is what I like to ask people first before we get into this. To get to $1,000,000, would you rather have to sell 20,000 units at $50, or would you rather have to sell 100 units at 10,000? Which one would you prefer? I'm just curious. To get to $1,000,000, would you rather have to sell 20,000 units at $50 or 100 units at 10,000? B. Somebody says. I see B. B. Let me see here. Oh, you guys are going to see my screen go janky. 100, Teresa says. There we go. Exactly. I would choose B as well. I would choose B as well. And let's go back here. So many of you all, like I mentioned earlier, because I kind of jumped ahead of myself, you guys have been trying to sell products for $50, $100. To hit your income goals, you're going to have to sell a whole lot of products. You're going to have to sell a whole lot of units to ever hit your income goals with where you're at now. So I propose to you that there's a way you can raise your income by simply raising the price of your products. But first, you must have a product that is worthy of being priced that high. Not high, because I mean, $10,000 isn't that much. It's only $10,000. But I propose to you that if done correctly, you can go from $50 or $100 or $500 to $10,000 if it's structured the right way. Does that excite anybody? Knowing that you can charge somebody $10,000 to help them experience life change, that to help them get to their dream destination? Does that excite you that you guys can go from selling a $50 product or a $100 product to selling a $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 product? It excites me because guess what? I'm going to go back to my story yesterday. You guys remember, if you remember the slides I shared yesterday, how I got out of college and I helped David, who was my mentor, I helped grow his coaching business. We ran our first client getting event, which I'm going to share tomorrow, and we made $30,000. That changed my perspective forever. Why? At the time, I was making $20-something thousand a year, and we just sold and made $30,000 in a 5-day period, in a week, and that was what I made in a year. Like, that blew my mind. And so for some of you all, this could be what gets you financial freedom, like Petra said. This could be what gets you that financial freedom. And that's why it gets me so hyped up and excited, because I know that if structured the right way, this can explode your income. But not only that, this can provide life change to those in your care, to those that are wanting to join your movement, those who want to join your mission. This can change your life if you build it right. So how do we price these out? Number one, in order to get these kind of prices, in order to be able to charge a premium for your products, you have to have a solid roadmap. That's what we already covered. If you have that solid journey for them, a solid roadmap, and you can, I'm not going to say you guarantee, because we can't guarantee everything, but if you can get them to where you're pretty certain, if they take the action on what you built, if they take action and actually follow the roadmap, they'll experience change, then you can charge a premium. That's number one. If you have that client roadmap built out in a way that's conducive for growth and conducive for life change, you can charge a premium. Is this making sense, or is it making sense? Let me know. Don't get tired of me now. We're an hour in. Don't get tired of me out. Exactly an hour. I see some of you guys are at work. Some of you guys are maybe at doctor's office. I don't know where you're at, but I love seeing people tapped in. Love it. Makes sense. Somebody says your story motivates me. Awesome. I'm happy it does, because if I can do this, a little weird country boy from Kentucky, middle of nowhere Kentucky, our town has 3,000 people, then you can do this. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Give me a second. Here we go. So pricing your new vehicle, if you have the roadmap, you can charge a premium. But what I like to do is, because people come to me all the time saying, Michael, how do I actually price these programs? So whether it's a do-it-yourself, whether it's a coaching program or done for you, what I like to do, and this is just my rule of thumb, and you guys can write this down. I like for the value to be about 10 times what I charge. About 10 times what I charge. And this is where you create an offer, an opportunity that's super irresistible. I like to, when people look at my opportunity, when people look at my offer that I craft, I want them to see that this offer and this opportunity, the value of it is around 10x what they would have to invest. So for example, whenever I was helping David Hughes, who was my real estate mentor, we were helping him sell a coaching program around real estate. And we were like, okay, if we work backwards, if we built something, let's just start here. We actually built a coaching program. So it was a done with you. We were like, hey, this done with you program, if they got into it and they looked at this, what would the value be? David's like, you know what? These people, if they went through this program, they could probably make 60, 50 to 60,000 their first year. If they actually implement what we teach just through a few properties, they could make $50,000 to $60,000 easily. So he said, okay, that's super valuable. So he said, that means if we charged $5,000 for this program, with everything we included, all the curriculum, all the coaching, we actually threw in an event for them, all the events, all the guest speakers, because we built it out really robust and really cool, all the contracts, everything we're giving them, everything they need. And we're pretty certain that they can step out of here and make $50,000 their first year. If we charge 5,000, 10x of 5,000 would be 50, right? So we want the value of this program to be at least 10x what you charge. That's me. That's my rule of thumb. So going in here, if I'm building funnels for people, if I'm building virtual events for people, I know a virtual event, like a small event for us, and when I say small event, I'm talking about not that many people, if ran the right way, can make $60,000, $70,000, because we do that all the time. A couple months ago, what I'm going to show you guys tomorrow, let me go back here. What I'm going to show you guys tomorrow, you guys could step in and literally in the next 30 days, 60 days, if you implement what I show you, you can literally go make $50,000 or $60,000. I've done it myself. I've done it for clients. I hope this excites you guys because it's true. You can literally do this. You just have to follow the blueprint. And so for me, I know, okay, I can make $60,000 or $70,000 for my clients. For my service, I may charge $10,000 because or maybe $10,000 because I know they can at least make $60,000 to $70,000 through my product. The value is there. And so for you guys, little test, would you guys like for me to run your event? Would you guys pay me $10,000 if within 30 to 60 days through our team, we could help you make 60 to 70? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. This is not a pitch. I'm just saying theoretically. If I said, hey, Lee, it's $10,000 to work with my company for this done for you offer. We're going to come run your first client getting event. We're going to help you craft your roadmap. We're going to help craft your irresistible offer. Would you pay me $10,000 if saying that you could? I'm not guaranteeing anything, but if you put in the work, the framework, you can make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. More than likely, Daniel says yes. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty no-brainer to me. I would do that all the time. It'd kind of be like if you guys were going out and you've seen, or no, I'll give that example later because that's a bad example right now. I'll save that example for later. Somebody in Facebook says yes. Love it. Same thing. People are going to be saying those same things when you go to them and be like, hey, for, $2,000 if I can do XYZ, rid your, like I said earlier, arthritis. Would you pay me for that? Yes. But it's all about how you, so we said number one, it's all about the journey you craft and the roadmap you build. But then number two, it's all about the messaging and the positioning of the offer. It's all about the positioning and the mission, messaging of the offer and the opportunity. You see, the reason why a lot of you all, you have great opportunities, you have great offers, but you're just not selling it in a way that makes it irresistible. You're not pitching it in a way that makes it irresistible. You're not showing people and sharing the vision and sharing it with belief and confidence for them to see that this is an irresistible, crazy no-brainer offer. Hope you guys are getting this. And listen, whenever it comes to your offer, this is going to help somebody. This is really going to help somebody here. And I learned this from one of my partners and mentors. He said, whenever you're presenting an irresistible, no-brainer opportunity, it's not so much about the pieces. It's not so much about what they're getting as much as it is about the outcome. So let me say that one more time. Whenever it comes to presenting your opportunity and you're presenting your offer to other people, it's not so much about the pieces, because people don't care about the pieces of the opportunity. They don't care about the pieces to the puzzle. All they care about is the outcome you're going to get for them. So for some of you all, for too long, the reason why you're not getting people to jump in on your irresistible offer is probably just because you're just laying out the pieces for them and just sharing the pieces, but you're never sharing the vision for what the outcome could be. You're not going in and sharing what the transformation and life experience and life transformation can be if they jump into your vehicle. Going back to the example of Coach Teresa, who's here, it'd be like saying, Coach Teresa, do you want to hop in this car with me? I'm going to New York. Let's say Florida, because we know that's her dream destination. So Coach Teresa, we're going to Florida. Do you want to come with me? I got the car. I got the roadmap. I got the GPS. I got some food in the trunk. You want to go? She may say, yeah, I love Florida. I'd love to go there. She may say, yeah, you know what? Maybe next week. But what if I said, hey, Coach Teresa, how would you like to go with me to Florida? You know what? I got the GPS. I got the food in the car. I got that Rand McNally. I got all those. I got the map, everything you need. But guess what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to stop, we're going to stop in Tennessee, and we're going to go hiking and see this big old waterfall. You know what? We're going to stop down in Georgia, and we're going to go to Stone Mountain. You know what we're going to do? When we get down to Florida, we're going to go swimming with the manatees. And you know what? Can you imagine what's going to happen, the life change you're going to get when you get to put your feet on that sand in Florida in about 2 days, 3 days when we get there? And yeah, start painting this picture for her and the outcome, and start painting and showing her what it looks like when she gets to Florida. Like, there's going to be a higher chance that she jumps in the car with me and goes to Florida. Why? Because I didn't sell just the pieces, the GPS, the food in the car, but I sold the process and the outcome that's going to happen when she gets there. I'm going to share what's going to happen when she gets to Florida and puts her feet in the sand, right? And starts soaking up the sun and hear the ocean waves crashing, and sharing that, because that moves people. It's not what you crafted. It's not your course that moves people. It's not your resources, your checklist, your contracts. It's not any of that moves people to action. Now, for some, maybe, but most of the time it's the experience that you can craft for them and the life transformation you can bring. So number one, you need to have an amazing, amazing journey planned for them and built out. You need to have, we go back here. Let me exit out of here. Got too many tabs open right now. But if we go back to this, you need to have your journey mapped out like this. But number two, you need to have the right messaging in place. You need to have the right messaging in place to craft it and share the vision with them so they can see why it's irresistible. So guys, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pause for today. I'm gonna pause for today. Tomorrow we're gonna go a little bit deeper into pricing because I want to pair it up with your virtual event. And I'm going to give you guys real life examples of how you guys can craft irresistible opportunities and how you can pair it with a virtual event so you guys can ramp up your message. You could ramp up getting this into the world ASAP. Is it okay if tomorrow, guys, I break down and show you? Is it okay if tomorrow I break down and show you exactly how we're using 3 to 5 day virtual events and we're creating life change for hundreds of people, thousands of people, but at the same time we're selling and making 50,000 at a time, 100,000 at a time. Maybe even like, when was it? 4 weeks ago, we ran an event, we made $1 million. Like, you guys want me to lay out that framework and show you how you guys can do the same exact thing too in your business, regardless if you have a big list or you don't, regardless if you have a big social media or you don't. Because these virtual events, I truly believe what we're going to show you tomorrow, these virtual events, if you do it, and you don't have to make it complex, if you do it and you just implement it fast, you can literally step into new income and new influence this year. And I truly want you guys to put this into play, because there's no better time than now. There's no better time in the history of the world to do this, because we have all the technology we need. We have the Zooms, we have the Facebook, we have ads, we have all these resources to use, and a lot of us, we just don't know how to put them together. So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all this out for you guys. I'm going to lay out, there's many different avenues we can use. There's 3 to 4 different virtual strategies you can use to scale your message and get it out to more people, because that's what the goal of this event is to go from one person to many people. We're going to show you how to get your message out in front of as many people as possible. And we're going to I'm going to show you one of the frameworks we use. And tomorrow, I want you guys to show up, same time, same place. I want you to show up right here at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Zoom, in Facebook, wherever you want to watch. But come ready, because tomorrow is going to be my favorite day yet. And tomorrow as well, because I'm going to be transparent up front with you guys. If you give me permission tomorrow, I'm also going to share at the very end, around 1:30, 1:45 tomorrow, I'm going to share with you guys how we are going to help you do everything we mentioned this week, do it faster. I'm going to share something crazy. I'm even going to share with you guys, hopefully you see the value in this. If you give me permission tomorrow, I'm going to share my crazy no-brainer opportunity and offer with you on how for some of you, not everybody, but how we're going to help you build out your first client getting event, how we're going to help you, build out your crazy irresistible no-brainer offer so you can go into 2024. So you can go into 2024 with the most confidence, the best plan, and the best strategy to go make new income, but new impact into the new year. Is that cool with you guys tomorrow if we lay all that out? Let me know in the chat. Is it cool if we lay all that out tomorrow for you? I want to bring as much power, passion tomorrow as possible, but I need to make sure that we're all in, all tapped in, and you guys are amazing. Somebody says, yes, looking forward to it. Yes, please. Coach Teresa says, I'll miss tomorrow. No, Coach Teresa, make sure you watch the replay, and I'll have our team reach out to you and make sure you get that. But all right, I see yes. Petra says value. Love it. This is really cool. So just try to catch, if you're going to miss tomorrow, I highly recommend you do whatever you can to watch it live, but if not, go watch the replay. The replays will be pinned in the guides tab of the Facebook group. Okay. So the replays are pinned in the guides tab of the One-to-Many Workshop Facebook group. Vanessa, go ahead, drop that link in the chat so you guys can go ahead and check that out. We're also here, you'll hear in about 30 to 45 minutes, you guys will get an email just with a reminder saying where you can find those. So if you miss them later, you guys can go back and watch. But she just dropped the link for everybody here in Zoom. You can click that and go to the One-to-Many Workshop Facebook group, and it'll open it up and just go to the guides tab. So with that being said, thank you all for being here for day 2 of the One-to-Many Workshop. Hope you guys found value in today's session. Make sure you guys go into the Facebook group as well. Go to the Files tab and download the workbook. And we'll see you tomorrow right here as we talk about client getting events to show you how to really, really ramp up and use these strategies to reach more people and make more income. So God bless you guys. We will see you very, very soon. Peace. See you, everybody.